everybody, welcome back to another episode from WildJaw 3D. In today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at this model and seeing why it's just not up to snuff, basically. So, grab a cup of tea, you never know, this could be a long one. So basically, what am I trying to do? What I want to do is I want to upload this to a website so that other people can download it. In order to do this, you have to go over your model and make sure that everything's up to snuff. Now, what do I mean by that? This model, in the day, was my Mona Lisa. I was so proud of this model, but I couldn't upload it. It kept getting flagged, and I never knew why. I've since obviously got better at Blender, and I understand what's going off now. And it happened on another model, and it kind of like flipped a switch with me. I'm like, oh my god, this is why they're all broken. So, what's up with it? I thought initially it was this livery. Adam LZ's prototype E36 livery. I thought it was like a copyright thing or something. I'd done that good of a job of getting it like bang on, which it's not. And it had flagged up. But so, I even like wrote this down, you know what I mean? And it turns out that wasn't the problem. I don't know whether you can see it yet. I might keep the suspense going a little longer, but this model, you should be able to download it by the time this video's out. I'll put a link below, because I really want to get this model out there. I know it'll do well. I put the S15 Breezy edition one out, you know, Sean Booth's one, and it immediately got loads of hits and downloads. People want this, so, you know what I mean? I need to get it out there. It's been sat on my hard drive now for about nearly 2 years doing nothing, and it's such a shame, and it was such a simple fix as to what's wrong with it. So, basically, when you're uploading, you have to respect the copyright laws, the editorials kind of thing. So you download something for free online, like a set of alloy wheels or a seat, it'll flag up when you try and upload it to, say, CG Trader, where I'm hosting mine. Link in the description. And this has been flagging up as an issue since day one, and I've not realised what it is until now. And it's these damn seats. I've obviously downloaded them for free somewhere, and you're not meant to use them. And I'm like, what? As you do, you know what I mean? I was in my infancy when I was learning how to do Blender, so, you know, unbeknownst to me. So the first task we need to do to this model is delete those seats. So if we select them as we have, and press X, and delete, go in, and find the seats. Because I'm sure there's more to it. So if we delete that bit, and we delete this bit, we have been left with a seatless car. It's not a problem. I've modelled everything else, but to do the seat, you can even see, like, I never do the interior because I just don't see the point. You know what I mean? I'm not making games, I'm making animations, aren't I? And even with respect, I was making a talking Adam LZ car. And for it to like flop because of that seat is just so upsetting, you know what I mean? You could be playing with this car right now. This car, if you select here and go over to shape keys, which are down here, you have all the letters you need to animate, you know what I mean? So if we press this one, the mouth will move. Press this one, it'll do the ends. You know what I mean? You got everything. And I couldn't use them because it wouldn't upload. So upsetting. So what we're going to do now is, now I've deleted those seats, I'm going to try and upload it and see if that solves it. Yeah? And if it doesn't, we're going to figure out why. So, assuming everything's gone correctly, I can give you a quick overview of this model. If we go into pose mode, we can see we have a working model. It's nice and light as well. That's fully functional, moves around, has the all-important drift button, with working stereo. And if you click the link below, you can download this model for free. If you do use it, make sure to link me in it in whatever you animate, because I want to see what you do with it, kind of thing. That's the whole point. I want to put it out into the system just to see what people do with it, you know what I mean? And it's such a shame it took so long, because like Adam LZ doesn't even have this livery anymore. It was during like COVID, wasn't it? So I was into it at the time, you know what I mean? Right then, so if we look here, we can see this pendant, and this is basically going to tell me like, no, we won't accept it, so I've failed up to here. So what's the next thing that could be causing the issue? Now, I was looking, and if we put the statistics on, like, the amount of verts and stuff is crazy. And I think what's happening is, these tyres aren't suitable, you know what I mean? If we go into edit mode, I don't think these tyres are cutting it, you know what I mean? So, same as that wheel, that's got open geometry on it as well. So if I press L on that tyre, we can select the whole tyre. What we can do is basically delete them. Now, if we do that for the rest of the model, I can already see the geometry is going down massively already. When I made this model, I wasn't very good, basically. It was in my early days, as I'm not scared now to fix it. And when you're animating and these are spinning, there's no sense in having all this geometry anyway. You may as well just have a plain wheel. you know what I mean? Just don't make sense. If you're doing like Instagram videos or something, like little shorts, and you want like super detail, yeah, you probably need it. But I like the whole cartoony, stylistic kind of nature of 3D myself. I'm not really into hyper realistic stuff. You know what I mean? It's not me. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to save this. If you press Control and Shift and save, you can save a copy, and we'll just call it a test. So what we can do now is with that model is upload it and see if that flags up, you know what I mean? So after investigating on our first test, which we deleted the tyres, which were bad tyres, I think there was overlapping geometry and that can cause an issue. I do believe we've got a successful tyre-less and chairless car, which is okay. The chairs were massively, like, I feel like I've given you a project now where you've got to finish it off, you know what I mean? You've got to put your own chairs in, that's not too hard. I feel like I could chuck you some tyres on because it's to do with the rig, you know what I mean? I probably should do that for you. I think we've cracked it. Awesome. But I will go and make a cup of tea because it can lag out sometimes. It can flag up like 10 minutes in or something. But I think we have uploaded the Adam LZ car successfully. On another note, I was investigating why it's so heavy and massive. If we go to here, we can see that on test 4, I got 103 megabytes. That's what it should be. And it's like, oh yeah, it makes sense. And on test 3, it's 1.5 gigs. The difference is the material. It's all the material. When I built the material, I would have used like probably 600 DPI, and it's just made the image so heavy it's not even funny. You know what I mean? I learned a lesson with it. So if you want this car, it comes at a heavy price, but you can literally render it at like 12,000K and it'll be still crispy. It's basically vector without the vector. You know what I mean? I went the old school way. So it makes me wonder if I should separate the material. But I really don't want to, you know what I mean? It's just going to be... You've got fast internet, haven't you? 1.6 gig. I've apparently got like 300 meg internet, so that'd take me probably like less than 5 minutes to download. Yeah, it's not a problem, is it? You know what I mean? You've got more than 1 gig of RAM as well, you know what I mean? You'll be sad. So, shall we put some tyres on this old girl? I'll make a cup of tea just to make sure that the CG trader's happy. But I think we can actually send it. I might even put some chairs back in it. I don't know. We'll see. I really don't want to. Tyres, I can do that. Let's go make a cup of tea. So I've had a lovely cup of tea. I'm lovely. I've managed to import one of my tyres because it does seem to be the problem, this tyre. And funnily enough, I modelled this tyre after I made this car, you know what I mean? Because obviously I needed to learn how to do it, so I've ended up making my own. It's probably not the most suitable tyre, but it's a tyre. If you would like to change it, you're going to watch me change it, so you'll know how to do it. You know what I mean? So, now we've imported our tyre, we need to think about getting it exactly in the middle, don't we? Now, if you look, our origin's already in the middle, so we can press Shift-S. We can press Shift-S and put the cursor to that selected area there. So that when we click on this one and press Shift-S again, we can say, put this selection onto that cursor, please. And it will. And it'll put it exactly in the middle so that we won't get any wheel wobble. Now, the next step's obvious. We just need to make it smaller, don't we? So if we just get it to a roundabout, which is like this, we inspect it. We can see we've got a nice, hard, chunky tyre. But if we just pull it to the right a little, we can see we've got a bit of curb protection, you know what I mean? Adam LZ did like a chunky tyre, so what we probably need to do now is kind of like round it off, put some stretch on it, don't we? So thinking about it, I probably should level it back off, leave a bit of rim, bit of poke, and then we can press enter to inspect this model here. So obviously what we need to do is select, we need to press / and I think what we need to do is remove some of these there. So if we dissolve the edges, select these ones dissolve those edges, select those ones and dissolve those edges. What we can do now is select these ones that we know we're going to want to stretch, and we can move them to the left a little, yeah? Now if we press / again, we can like see whereabouts we're at. That's kind of like what we want, isn't it? So what we can do now is basically, so if I continue and just thin out the model a little bit, so it's getting a bit heavy. So if we back out and we look now, we've got a tyre, haven't we? It's a tyre at least. Now obviously AnimLZ doesn't run this Terrier tyres. I don't know what tyre he runs. I'm not going to be that nerd, but he doesn't run these tyres, does he? So we're probably going to need to correct that, and we're going to go into the shader editor. We can have a look at what's going on with this here. If you'd watched the previous episodes, you'll know what's going on here. But what we can do is we can just unplug it, and it'll just be a normal tyre. Yeah. So if we unplug this, and it's basically, if you've watched this episode, you know that's there. So you can basically steal it from inside this file. Yeah. All you got to do is plug in those 3 nodes there. Yeah. But for now, just for the sakes of having a successful model, we want it like this, don't we? We want the roughness to be kind of shiny, but not too shiny. Do we need a bit of metallic in there? It's a tyre. It needs to have a lot of poke as well because it's a drift car, you know what I mean? But it'll do you know what I mean? So now we've put a tyre on. Obviously it's not connected to this rig, is it? So if we pressed forward, it won't connect. But at the same time, before we do anything, I want to press save. And if we press Control and A and apply all those transforms we've just done to that tyre, we can guarantee that nothing's going to go funny. And what we could probably do is chuck on a subdivision surface. If you press Control 1, 2 or 3, that can also shortcut it for you. So we've got like a nice shiny slick tyre, shall we say. Yeah. And the cheat code is here, we've got slicks on. Yeah, so you know what I mean? So now we've done that, we need to connect it to the model, don't we? So now we've applied our scale and we've pressed subdivision on it to make sure it looks okay. We need to join it into this model here. Now, did you see what I did there? With the tyre selected, I then held shift and clicked the wheel. The wheel became yellow, which is like the main selection. So if I press Control and J to join it, it all turns yellow. Yeah? And because we centered it using our origins, this wheel, it should be absolutely perfect now. So we can test that now. If we click on our rig and press Control Tab, click on the base bone and move forward, we can see the tyre is connected to our wheel. It's that simple. Now, I just need to do that for the rest of the wheels. Well, that turned out to be super simple. It didn't take me long at all. So if we move backwards and forwards, we can see those 2 tyres are good. And those 2 tyres are good. So now we can successfully upload this model to CG Trader. Finally. This was, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I'll just upload a model. It's taken me all evening to suss this out and figure it out. Makes me think I should probably put some seats in for you as well. Shall we have a look? Shall we see what CG Trader can offer us? Let's have a look for bucket seats then. We want a free one because I'm offering free stuff, so I kind of want a free one. Ferrari seat? No. You know what I mean? There's nothing available. So I either model one, which I don't want to. It gives you something to do with the model, you know what I mean? So if you're learning, you can have a cool model and you've got to finish it. I feel that that's a really good offer, you know what I mean? You can download this free model, you can learn to animate with it, you can swap your wheels with it now. You've just got to put your own seats in it. So why not learn to model? Have the prize be this. Yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed this. If you want this model, the link should be in the description below. If you make anything, share it with me, let me know. Share it with other people. Just have fun, basically. See you later.